If you were on music Twitter or music internet forums at all, really, in the 2010s, you probably know what a Topster is, and you probably know what Last FM is. If not, let me give you a quick rundown. A Topster is just a ranking of albums, usually in a grid formation with some stats off to the side, usually by your most played to your least played, or maybe just like your favorite to your least favorite. Last.fm is a website that I think used to be like a streaming service and kind of social media too, but basically it tracks your streams using a thing called scrobbling. That's just the word that they use for it, but it basically just shows the music you listen to. Today I'm going to be making a Topster using my Last.fm data, which I believe I've been on probably since like 2016. To be honest, the past few years, they probably aren't that accurate because I've been using streaming less and more like Bandcamp, iPod listening, CDs. So the past few years, it hasn't been tracking my music quite as much because I'd have to like input the data myself, which I'm not about to do. But back when I was heavily using Spotify, this was counting every single play. I'm here on the Topster website and I'm about to generate myself a quick chart. And I'm gonna use this kind of like a iceberg thing where I go through my most streamed albums, kind of describe why they're up here, when I found them, my relationship with the album, and then go farther and farther down. So by the end, you'll still be seeing stuff that I listen to a fair bit, but it might not be the most obvious stuff that you might have learned about through my CD collection. So basically, I'm giving you hella lore for my music taste today. Okay, this is quite a few, so I am gonna drop it down a little bit. Let's see. This is literally 100. Let's make it 50. So we're gonna go. Can I make it so that the top part is like bigger? Okay, so I've got the chart all downloaded. I'm kind of mad because I swear it used to be able to show the amount of streams that each album had. And by the way, when I say the number of plays that each album has, it's not the full album. It's just a song off the album counts as one play. So let's start with the top 10. Number 1 is Zach Villery, Cardboard City. And this one, I have Last.fm open here. I'm just reading it off. It's 427 scrobbles, which I've always thought that my top albums have less scrobbles than I would assume, because I do listen to stuff a lot, but I think in general I space out my listens more than some people. So the fact that my top album doesn't even have 500 scrobbles is a little weird to me, but also I don't know, I think I've just listened to a bunch of different stuff, and honestly I think I listen to less music than you might expect as someone who loves music so much. But yeah, for Cardboard City, I loved Zach Villery and I still do. He was a big influence on my music back when I was heavy making music, and this is going to be a very common scenario. This album came out my freshman year of college, and it kind of blew my mind with the wonky, weird production, very honest lyrics, but a lot of these songs are still really pretty or catchy, even if they are just pretty weird. My number 2 is A$AP Rocky Testing, which is kind of wild because I've never been a ginormous A$AP Rocky fan in general. I definitely have thought he was cool. Testing just happened to be like a album that came out at the right time for me. I feel like I didn't have a ton of rap post like 2016, 2017 that had blown my mind like this album. I still remember I was going to Boston Calling to meet up with my friends. First time I ever flew alone. I was in Minnesota with my family for a wedding, and Testing came out the day I flew back to Boston, and I listened to it at least 3 times that morning. The third one is Frank Ocean Endless. This one has a bit of an asterisk by it, and I'll explain. Basically, I only listened to this on music, like downloaded Apple Music, whatever you want to call it. I swear it used to glitch sometimes and submit like double the scrobbles. So this one is like a little fraudulent, but also I did listen to this a lot over the years. I bought this on CD. I have a little unboxing video way back on my old channel. And yeah, I've listened to it a lot. It's been fun to get to know it as well as Blonde pretty much. And yeah, it's a fantastic album. I definitely recommend hearing it if you can. I don't even know where to find it online. I'm happy that I have a copy downloaded. Number 4 is Dominic Fike, What Could Possibly Go Wrong. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of over Dominic Fike. He hasn't really made that much music I've liked since this album. This album came out in the summer of 2020. I was working in Bar Harbor, which when I lived in Maine is not far from my house, but not super close either. So I definitely remember driving there many a morning, putting on this and singing along, because this album I still stand by as one of the most fun albums to sing along to. Kind of quirky, kind of cringy at points, but it's definitely Dominic Fike's. Actually, no, I wouldn't even say that. I would say his demos might still be his best work, but I definitely loved this a lot when it came out. Number 5 is Astroworld, Travis Scott. I guess I just put this one on a lot over time. Like, it definitely had songs I played a lot, like Purity, Rest in Peace, Screw, Astro Thunder. Like, I've definitely played those songs singularly quite a lot. And it is kind of a long album. I was pretty hyped when it came out. I also have a video of my like reaction, I guess, and a little bit of a review back in the day when this dropped. But I guess I was just really excited because I did love Travis Scott back in the day. Number 6, this is a certified college influential banger. This is McGee, A Museum of Contradictions. I am very proudly ahead of the curve on McGee. I was listening to this album when it came out in 2021, I believe. This is right as I took a leave of absence from college and went back to Maine for a bit. This is another one that just influenced the music I was trying to make quite a lot, from the weird drum patterns to the lo-fi, somewhat electronic sound. It sounded very intimate, and I liked that a lot. Honestly, this album is way closer to my heart than Two Star, even though I do love Two Star and the Dream Police. This will always be my favorite McGee album, I think. Number 7 is Mike, Beware of the Monkey. This came out at the very end of 2022, I think, or 2023. I can't remember, but it was right at the end of the year. And I had just found out about Mike, really. I think I had heard about him once or twice, but I remember when Nothing I Can Do Is Wrong came out as a single, I was like, okay, I'm hooked for this album. Give me the album as soon as possible. And this album very much delivered. Sick lo-fi hip-hop and just some amazing beats. Number 8, this is a throwback one, Jon Bellion, Glory Sound, Prep. I was a big Jon Bellion stan back in the day in high school. This is like pre-college. Jon Bellion pretty much made me want to make music back in the day. And this was the follow-up to Human Condition. Human Condition is not on here somehow. It was on the extended version. I guess it's not in my top 50. This album, I think nowadays I'd probably rather hear than Human Condition, but they're both pretty cringe, super dramatic, and very animated pop music from Jon Bellion. Number 9 is Brockhampton Iridescence. This is up here, I think, because of the longevity it had for me. This is my favorite of Brockhampton's albums, if you ask me nowadays. I feel like you can very much feel the emotion in this one. Obviously, Amir was just kicked / removed / whatever happened after the allegations came out about him. But yeah, this album has stood the test of time for me more than any of their other music, even though I do still like a lot of the songs on Ginger. But yeah, this is just up here because it's become my favorite over time, even though I've scrobbled all their music quite a lot. And the final of the top 10 is another college influence, freshman year of college album, Kevin Crowder, Full Hand. I found out about Kevin Crowder through an Instagram post that Mike Doty did, and it had Pretty Boy in it as one of the songs that he liked at the end of the year. Right before I got sent home from college due to COVID, this came out, and I was just like, oh my god, the mix of electronic drums with acoustic guitar and the soft singing and just beautiful songwriting from Kevin Crowder blew me away. He's in Wishy now. I love Wishy, but this album was an absolute turning point for me in terms of my music taste and my music creation. If you listen to my album Tukis, it basically is the Kevin Crowder formula. Okay, I'm done with the top 10. This is definitely gonna be a longer video than I thought. I'm gonna try and run through these a bit quicker now, and I might not even go through much detail once I get to like 30. We're going into the top 20. Number 11, we have Marky Basie, Gossip Columns. Yeah, I don't exactly know how to describe it, but I have a soft spot for this weird white boy douchebag, like Black Bear, Marky Basie, and not as much G-Eazy, but those two in particular. I find them, I don't know, I loved their music back in the day. Number 12 is Claro, Immunity. I found out about this my freshman year of college, and it stuck with me for a while. I definitely still like Claro. She's blown up a lot since then, but I really got put onto this my freshman year. I was a little bit late, and someone brought me to a Claro concert, and yeah, I fell in love with this album and I listened to it quite a bit. Number 13, we have Showbiz by Mike. This is one of Mike's newest projects and somehow it snuck its way up here. It's a long album, but I'm surprised to see it all the way up here. It's good, but there are multiple Mike albums that I would put above it. Next is The Free Nationals. This is a banger. This came out while I was in high school, just barely, I think. Feels like the end of high school. And yeah, super funky and super catchy. Lots of crazy guests. I played this album hella. I have it on CD. I've played it quite a lot. Yeah, I've overplayed it, honestly, but it's really good. And 15, all-time classic, Blonde by Frank Ocean. Not much to say about this. I was super hyped when it came out. I learned about Frank Ocean just in time before he dropped this and Endless. And I knew how much hype was behind this when it came out. And yeah, it lived up to the hype over the years for sure. Classic album. 16 is Mansions. Yeah, this is Black Bear and Mike Posner making a really, really weird album that I just thought was really cool back in the day. It was cool because it was pretty experimental and they really just put it out, and like, it's a good example of an album where the people just made it because they wanted to make it and they didn't try and like make that shit blow up. It just exists now. And yeah, I don't know, it's a weird one. It's definitely one that's more just entertaining to listen to than like I would say it's like good. I don't know. Number 17 is my album, Tukis. I have played this a lot. The name comes from in college one time at the dining hall, they called my name and they called Ada Tukis. I keep forgetting that I can look at the numbers on here. These are all super close. Like Mansions and Blonde are literally tied. Oh my god. And Free Nationals has one less than Showbiz, which has two less than Claro, which has one less than Gossip Columns. So this is basically like these positions I could switch at any time. But yeah, obviously I'm gonna listen to my music if it's on streaming. I'm hyped when that shit came out. Like I listened to it multiple times that day. I have taken all my music off Spotify since then, and it's still on Bandcamp though. So yeah, if you want to hear it, go find it on Bandcamp. Next is No Worries. Yes, Laud. I got flamed on TikTok. I'm so scared to say Laud. Fantastic collab album. Maybe one of the best collab albums of all time. It is like pretty raunchy and kind of despicable lyrically, but amazing production by Knowledge, and Anderson .Paak made some super catchy, super memorable hooks on this one. 19 is Mike, Burning Desire. This and Beware of the Monkey are my two favorite Mike projects. Burning Desire came out while I was in Wales. I spam listened to that. It's super long. It's got a lot of fun guests. And yeah, it's just a magnum opus kind of for Mike, I feel like, so far. 20 is Marky Basie PMD. This was the follow-up to Gossip Columns. I was really hyped. I don't think it's quite as good as Gossip Columns. It's a bit more electronic and hip-hop inspired, which I don't like as much, I think, as some of the more like acoustically driven pop songs. Okay, we're on to the 20s. This is Tyler, the Creator, Flower Boy. Just to show as a benchmark, this has 208 listens, which is one less than PMD, so it's basically in the top 20. I wouldn't say this is my favorite Tyler album. I think Igor is my favorite, and I'm surprised to see that's not on here at all. Yeah, this was the first Tyler album I really sat down and listened to and got to know, I think. This is a kind of random one. Theophilus London Baby. This came out also my freshman year of college, and it's just, there's some really fun upbeat songs on here. I had heard about Theophilus London, I think, just through like weird fashion / Kanye. But yeah, super random but fun album that somehow snuck its way up this high. It's kind of crazy. The next one is Mac DeMarco 5 Easy Hot Dogs. I have a very easy explanation for this. I reviewed it for the college newspaper at Drexel, so I played it quite a lot. It's a beat tape. It's easy to listen to. Yeah, I don't listen to it that much anymore, but for a week I was really analyzing the songs, so yeah, it got a lot of streams. Untourable Album is next, Men I Trust. This is my favorite Men I Trust project. I haven't listened to that much of their stuff before this, but I was really hyped when this came out. I have it on CD now. And honestly, for a while, I would have said it's one of my favorite albums of all time. I don't know if it's still up there, but it's really good. Number 25 is Big Thief, Dragon New Warm Mountain, I Believe in You. This has a ton of songs. I think that contributed to it. It's also really good. And has a lot of different sounds on here. So I've played a lot of these songs singularly, and then it's an easy one to just throw on because you're getting a nice mix of a lot of cool magical folk music. Next is Mount Kimby MK3.5 Die Cuts / City Planning. This one has shrunk on me quite a lot. I loved it when it first came out. I was really hyped for it. It's a double album again, but honestly the first half of this has soured on me quite a lot, the one that has all the features. The second electronic half is still pretty cool, but I don't know, there's a lot of songs that I just don't really care for much anymore on this one, especially the first half. Next is Born's Blue Madonna. I have always thought in my mind that one of the saddest cancellations of all time was Born's, because they made some absolutely fire music, and I think they just have a couple allegations that have never really gone away. It's sad because I loved this album when it came out, and I still do. I just like am not as quick to play it anymore. But yeah, fire pop album. Next, this one should be a lot higher, honestly. It's Cashmere Cat 9. This is another reason why I started making music, just because I knew I wasn't going to be able to make music like Cashmere Cat as a super detailed electronic producer, but it just like it bent the boundaries of what I thought music could be in high school. Next is Second Grade Scheduled Explosions. This is another one of the newest entries on here. Philly band that put out a super long album. They have a couple super long albums actually. It came out 2024, and I played it quite a lot. It has a lot of really short songs, super fun, lo-fi power pop. Number 30 is Vampire Weekend, Father of the Bride. Another kind of random one because I don't really talk about Vampire Weekend. I don't really like them outside of this album much, but I think I just checked this out because I learned that they had not put out an album in a while, and then when they started dropping singles for this, it was kind of hype online, specifically on the app Symbol, which I kind of tie into this whole era of like music, internet, Twitter, Last.fm stuff. This is when I found out about all of this, and really what made me start keeping up with new music. The new singles for this album were trending on the app Symbol, and I just started listening to them, and I was like, damn, this is really good. I think nowadays I don't really listen to this album that much anymore. There are definitely some songs I still like and respect as like fire songs, but I don't really play it that much anymore. Okay, I'm just gonna speed through the last ones and not really talk a ton about them. Action Bronson, I loved, and I still like, but not as much as when I was in high school. I was spamming Mr. Wonderful, I was spamming this, I was spamming White Bronco. Joji Ballads 1 has definitely had a decent amount of longevity for me that I didn't really expect when it first came out. I feel like I started to enjoy that album a lot more as time went on. The next one is one of my albums, so yeah, that's why it's on here. We got a Knowledge beat tape, another one with a lot of short songs. We got two Toro y Moi down here, Soul Trash and Mahal. It's crazy to see Soul Trash above Mahal. I guess it's a little bit older. I think there's just certain tracks that I've played a ton, like Atherton Hi-Fi. I've scrobbled that one quite a lot. We have a Kevin Abstract solo, AZ Baby. I loved the songs Peach and Baby Boy. That's probably why this one's up here. We have two Drake, Views and More Life. I definitely played More Life a lot when it came out, although it did not really stick with me as much as like Views and maybe some of his older stuff did. We got Dijon Sneaking In down there. Absolutely, that one I feel like should be a lot higher, considering that one's up there with like the McGee and the Zach Villery for stuff that influenced my music in college. Coloring Book sneaks in. We got another Clara. We got Life of Pablo, which is probably my favorite Kanye album. We got the No Worries remixes, which is funny. The Weeknd Starboy, which I do remember very fondly staying up till midnight and texting my friend Sam as we listened to it. Definitely my favorite Weeknd album. And then at the end, Rihanna Anti, which is kind of perfect because that was one of the first albums I ever listened to on Spotify, like when it came out. It didn't come out right away on Spotify. It was actually an Apple Music, I think, and Tidal exclusive first. But once it got on there, I was super excited, and I was like, damn, listening to new music is really exciting. So yeah, I love Anti Deluxe, I guess, specifically. And that wraps it up. This is probably kind of long and a bit rambly, but I hope y'all found it interesting learning a bit more about my music taste, especially the stuff from early on before I really had the YouTube channel going. If y'all want to add me on Last.fm, this is my profile. Just type in the URL, just do user/AtticusDini, and that's the best way to find me on here, I think. Shout out to online music culture. Music Twitter was fun back in the day. Rip Twitter, I don't use that shit anymore. And rip Symbol.